Oh, good morning. How are you? Can you see me okay? Looks like I'm kind of,
I can like tilt
yeah.
your camera down just to there you go.
Okay. You know what? I don't know how to tip away. Let me see.
I
Candace,
I see it fine just now.
yeah, I'm holding it. So,
Okay.
because it's not going to let me do it. No, it has to do it like this. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that might work. No. Oh, we're trying to figure it out here. Okay.
There
It's,
you
yeah,
go.
girl. Hey, help me. It's like, this is not what you,
No, I totally understand. So thank you for doing this with me today. So everybody that is tuned in right now, I am Cindy D, pretty underscore Cindy, and this is Underrated TV, and we have Dr. Mary House with us. It's so nice to have you here. And what's funny is someone who commented under one of the posts, they were like, "How do you know her? We go to her conference. Me and my mom go to her conference every year." And I'm
what?
like, "I just met her." I was like, "No," I was like, "I just met her." So I thought it was in. They're based out of Wichita, Kansas. So I thought that was really cool. They go to your conference every
Yeah, it must be
year.
the Bonds. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They come every year. Her mom is faithful with coming every year.
Yes, yes, Dr. Michelle Van. Yes, I can't. I'm so glad.
Oh,
So for a
yeah.
lot of people that don't know who you are, could you introduce yourself and let them know what it is that you do in your community and who you are?
Well, first of all, I do want to say thank you for having me on today. It's always a blessing to expose myself to another audience, and this is wonderful to do that. So I'm really, really, I'm a young lady that's grown up from Detroit, Michigan. I grew up in Detroit, in I guess the correct verbiage today would be a disadvantaged community.
Okay.
But in my day, we called it the ghetto,
Okay.
right?
They still call it the hood, the ghetto, what
Okay,
they call
yeah,
it.
call it the hood or whatever. And with a father who was an alcoholic, but a mother who was a Christian woman with very strong spiritual base. And so it was a family of seven that we grew up. But I always had dreams and aspirations. I felt like I was a little different. I was a child that was at the library reading all the books in the library, okay,
Yeah.
dreaming of places would be, or I never knew I had never been at that time, but just always dreamed. And then grew up, moved to LA due to a circumstance in my life at the age of 14. I was going to school one day and got shot in the head with a BB gun right above my eye. It almost took me out. The doctor said if it was a fraction of an inch lower, it would have entered my eye, and there was no telling what kind of damage could have been done.
Oh.
At that point, my mom made a decision, and this is just my story. My mom made a decision to send me to her oldest sister and her husband in California,
Mm-hmm.
and who I really didn't know. But
Yeah.
I grew up where when your parents make a decision, you have no choice and no say. You just do it. Another,
Exactly.
okay, another story at another day. That's another look. That's another wisdom
Okay.
moment for parents. I need to do a wisdom from the house for mothers. Okay,
Okay.
children. That's another way, another thing. But long and short, went to LA and got there and just did what my mom said do. Loved my aunt and uncle for taking in a 14-year-old girl who they didn't know because their kids were grown. And the rest is history. There, I met my husband. It was there, that I started growing. I got exposed to things I wouldn't have never gotten exposed to in a good way had I not went. Then my husband and I came here 30 years ago,
Oh,
and God told him to come and start a church. And again, another experience. We knew nobody here. It was
right.
because God told him to come. And with that being said, started with 13 people, and now the church is over 4,000. And
Wow.
you know, in that intern, um, I begin to develop myself,
Mhm.
and I am, and not losing myself in ministry. And so now I am the CEO of our nonprofit organization, our community based nonprofit called CHR Inc., where we did employment and training for 10 plus years. And now I have a platform where I am supporting women who are survivors of domestic violence, because my mom was a survivor. We
Yeah.
hold monthly workshops free of charge. And also, I am an advocate for the clean energy movement, because I think that African Americans don't know that there's an environmental justice going on out there in our communities. They're very polluted, and we're not fighting for a cleaner community. And so I'm pushing that. So then here comes Mary House Ministries, and God
Yes.
me to people always say, you're just so wise, you're just so wise. Took that very lightly, but to discover that that is a gift from God. And
Yeah.
he, people come to me and God just downloads things to me
Mhm.
for them and for their situation. And it's not me. It's like I know it came from him, because there's no way I would know what I know except
Right.
him. And here births Mary House Ministries and Wisdom from the House. And that's what God told me. He said, start Wisdom from the House. As you know, my last name is House.
Yes. That is amazing. All of that is so amazing, and it's definitely an inspiration to a lot of us around. So, how long have you been? How long have you had wisdom when you started wisdom? How long has that been going?
That's just been a few years. Honestly, it's been going all my life. Honestly, like I said, I didn't realize it was a gift. So, when you're a child, you don't even understand gifts that you have. It's just because it's just something that you just do.
Right.
And I'm the middle child, and I'm the one that, that like guided everybody, and, encouraged everyone. So, it's just been my life. But technically, you know, on paper, Mary House Ministries was birthed just a few years ago.
Wow. And if you can a little light, because I'm definitely a lot of people seek out for wisdom. It's one thing that I've learned throughout my life in church, that is something that you pray for and you ask God for, definitely. And what can you say now? I will say, is there a difference in between wisdom and having discernment? Because we always, hear of people saying, you want to ask for discernment so you can, know what you're getting into and
Mhm.
decipher situations. But do you believe that wisdom and discernment are the same thing, or are they their own difference?
They're their own difference. Because I know I do have both,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and my mom had great discernment. And I know that that was I say a gifting that is generational. Because you can have discernment, but then people can have discernment and they don't follow it. Some people call it your gut,
Mm-hmm.
your gut feeling.
Yeah,
If your gut tells
that
you,
intuition.
yeah, 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 and my intuition,
Mhm.
whatever you want to define, that falls under discernment. But wisdom is more like the ability or the act of using your knowledge and your experience and your understanding, and your common sense. So that's wisdom.
Good, yes, because I know a lot of people, they confuse the two, and I tell people, just because you have a knack and you're into it doesn't mean you have the knowledge or the wisdom, because due to lack of experience. It's because some things, in order to get that wisdom, you do have to experience, I feel, and that definitely helps with futures, especially helping other people who may have gone through the same thing you have
Absolutely.
gone. So, with your conference that's coming up, your wisdom conference, could you elaborate more into that and how people could register, and how they could definitely join that? I know I'm in San Diego and we're dealing with social distancing and
Yeah.
coronavirus. So, how can people tune into your conference?
Okay.
That's
First of all, it is May 16th, so it's coming up a week from this coming Saturday, and it's going to be a webinar. So you
great.
join it from wherever you're at, especially due to social distancing. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be a location, but because we are still on this quarantine, um, I've decided to do it via webinar. So you can go to maryhouseministries.org and register for wisdom. It's called Wisdom on Finding You. And
Okay.
I hear people say all the time too, I really don't know who I am. I think I know, but I don't know. And so how do I find who I am? And so when God really downloaded this particular workshop, and this will be my first workshop that I'm doing, he showed me the steps to finding you. And so in this workshop, we're going to face it, erase it, replace it, and learn the wisdom that you have learned from it. And so
Yeah.
I have a work that's called, I know it's like, girl, it's gonna be so good. And
Man, it's down, and there's no excuse. It is a webinar, so there's no excuse for you to miss it.
it's not. And those who register will get some downloaded handouts that they can print out. But we also have a workbook that they can pre-order. If you register for the workshop, you get a discount on the workbook. But if you just want the workbook, then you can just order the workbook and have it at full price. So for the registered attendees of the webinar, they will get a discount. They'll get a special email with a discount code to get the workbook so that they can go through it, because we're going to go through the workbook, and because there's stages of your life, and I'm going to go through your stages of your life, and each stage you've got to face some things about that stage.
Yeah.
Got to you got to face it, then you've got to erase what was negative, you've got to replace it with what's positive, and then you're going to write down what did you learn from it.
That's
And
good. Yeah, I can definitely agree. Being like, I'm 28, so being in your late 20s, going to like you're going into another chapter. You're almost 30, so I can honestly say I'm at a point to where, you know, I know where I finally at a point to where, okay, I know what I want to do. I know where I want to go, but I'm still at a point to where at the same time I'm finding myself, because I'm a single parent, I'm a lot older now, and it's just like, because I remember even just last year, a couple years ago, I was at a point to where I was just like, I don't know what I want to do right now. Like, because you get to a point, after, I can say in my stages of life, after high school, when I graduated, I knew what I want to do. I went to college. This is what I wanted my major to be. Then in that time in college, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't have the passion. This is not what I want to do. So then I switched it, to healthcare, and I learned I really love to help people. So this is something that I really wanted to do with people. Now, fast forwarding to now, I'm doing this because, like I said, I still have that passion for helping people. So, guys, I can tell this is going to be a great webinar, because people like me, when you are in, so, because there are different stages in your life. And, if you could give some good advice to, especially to young adults, when it comes to figuring out those different stages, what advice could you give them, right now, especially during this pandemic? We're all like,
well,
we're
first
all
of
in
all,
the same,
every,
what do we do now?
every watching this need to sign up for that workshop,
Yes.
because I can assure you, when you go through the stages of your life, and I take you through those stages, and you begin to journal that during the workshop, you are going to find what area in life you got off track.
Mm.
Because when you said, "Oh, I already knew what I wanted to do," which is when I got out of high school, I was going to college.
Yeah.
And there's this set method that
Mm-hmm.
we get locked into, but is that really what you're supposed to do?
Right.
And it's really who you are. And here you say, it wasn't even what I was supposed to do, because now look at me, look what I'm doing. And so
Right.
where did you get off track? And when you're able to make yourself whole, you're able to identify what made you do the college thing and that major when that really wasn't what you were supposed to do anyway, but you did get your degree, I'm assuming. And
No, I didn't finish yet. No, I do have my certification though, but not. I'm working on finishing my RN. So that is
okay,
now my goal, is to, because that's what I want to do now.
so you got off. You know what I'm saying? So where,
Right.
So this is what this is about. So when you say, well, what do I tell the young people today is, first of all, you need to stop and be still, and you need to get into the right space so that you are early enough in your life
Mm-hmm.
to get on the track that you're really supposed to be on. And sometimes some people don't even know they're off. And
Yes.
it is, yeah,
Yeah.
they don't know they're off. But I can tell you, as we go through the stages, you will discover where you got off at. And then we're going to talk about how to get back on. And
That's
that's what this workshop is going to really be about. So, can I put it in a nutshell? Because it's
right.
not a moment. It's going to take time. It takes a minute, and that's why I'm doing this, is because I'm not. It's not a coaching situation. It's
Mm-hmm.
a leading you situation.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to show you something, but I'm not going.
Ah.
I'm not going to give it away because it's in the workshop. So, have you ever heard seen nesting dolls?
I have tons of them.
A demonstration that is going to take you through finding you by using a nesting doll. So that's going to be in the workshop. Again, got to register. And if you love yourself enough, you have to invest in yourself.
Yeah, I say that all the time. I say
And
that all the time because
you know what?
when it, even if it's just, yes, I say that all the time. If you can't invest in yourself, but you pose like you want to invest in how you look, but really do you want to invest in healing yourself and helping yourself? That's why I tell people all this. I'm so big on health and wellness. Like, you have one body. Why
Mm-hmm.
would you want to take care of it? Like,
Yeah,
definitely, guys.
I'm scared of that. My husband and I, on another note, I take I'm part of a vitamin company that
Mm-hmm.
support. They don't cost over the counter. Okay, let's be clear. However, they're very high graded vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
I could either be paying for medicine every month, or I could be paying for the vitamins that keep my body healed every month.
Yes.
Choose to do the right nutritional supplements. So as a result, my husband and I aren't on any medicines, and we've been we're in a very high stress type of I don't even want to say calling, because
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a career, we have a calling. And so we can't say, oh, after this I'm done, because that's God,
Right.
right? And when he hires you, you got to do what he says do. So with that being said, there's things that I promote, but then you're trying to tell people, and they go, oh, that's just a little bit more. Well, it's not more than them Jordans you would be buying, or them Louis
Okay, that's like $200-$300. Limited edition.
Vuitton. Let me, but we paying all this money for designer stuff. Even if you get a throwback, you paying a couple of $100.
Yes,
Oh,
the
I don't.
throw is old. It's not even new anymore.
It's not. And so why wouldn't you do that for yourself? And so
Yes,
I'm an advocate of, this is a body God has given us. Take care of it. Or do
yes.
the can to take care of it. It is really meant to heal itself if you put the right stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes.
know.
Thank
So
you.
that's a look. That's a whole nother look, girl. That's
Okay,
a okay.
whole other, because we could
Whole
talk about
single issue.
wellness all day until
Yeah.
you, like, it's amazing. Like, so I know you have Dr. House. So are there any other ministries that you do within the community that you definitely go out and are on the streets, because we know we have a lot of stuff that's going on right now in our community and the things like that. So are there any other ministries that you have going on where you guys are very, very heavy in your community, where, they can definitely see you anywhere?
Yeah.
you know
Well, I'm very involved legislative wise with the rules and the laws that affect clean energy and domestic violence. We also, within our church, we have the elementary school that's across the street from our church that we are involved with, that we help along with doing things. I'm an advocate of reading. You know, because what you put up here, once you got it, can't go away. And so I like to read, you know, during Nevada Reading Week. I make sure I'm participating in that. We have, during the Christmas holidays, I do what we call Divas and Desserts, which stands for Divinely
That.
Inspired Anointed Sisters. And we do that in December. And what we did this year or last year is we asked the women to bring a bag and put toiletries in it, full-sized toiletries in it. And we donated them to one of our shelters. And then there is an organization here called Hookers for Jesus. And we partnered with them, and we were
Oh
able to
wow,
give, yeah,
that's a
bags with
catchy
full
title.
size. Yeah, yeah, you know, and that's a whole. And the girl, the founder of it, said, "Hookers for Jesus" really means that the Bible says you're supposed to be fishers of men, and so she's out
I
hooking.
I love it. I love it because when you read titles, you're thinking like hookers for Jesus. What does that mean? Like, I love that. So that is a good analogy and metaphor. So I definitely want to get more onto your clean energy because a lot of people are not well educated on necessarily what clean energy really means. A lot of them think it's, you know, we have like here in California, there's solar panels everywhere, which is using the sunlight, or you can replace your, you know, the type of light bulbs that you buy. So could you really kind of educate us on briefly what necessarily clean energy is and what we can do to implement more clean energy in our households?
Well, first of all, is what you kind of said. You know, everybody is very clear about solar panels and you know, and light bulbs and things like that. Those are things you should be doing. You know, I don't know in California the air. I'm an advocate of opening your house up and airing it out, because your home is one place that has no regulations as far as the chemicals. So when you're using chemicals in your home, that those fumes and stuff stay in there.
Yeah.
You can also look out for cleaning products that are natural, because
Mm-hmm.
what you don't understand is when you're using all that Clorox and stuff like that, and those, you know, things that when you read labels, you go, oh my God, oh my
Yes.
God. But
Yes.
in our communities, what we don't understand is they have what they call red line areas in every city where it's very polluted. Most of our communities are polluted. And
Mm-hmm.
what we don't understand is we've allowed freeways to come through, which means all of those fumes and, you know, exhaustions are in our area. One of my things here that I really push is our school buses, are, you know, come through our communities, and they're full of gas fumes. And our state received money from the Volkswagen settlement to get electric buses. And I feel that if we're not advocating from our community to have those buses go through our communities, then we won't get them. But if you don't understand, when your kids have asthma, the fumes in the air is a direct result of the asthma our kids have. And so
Yes.
we promote what we need in our community. We need electric cars, which means we need charging stations in our communities, and you don't see them. So there's no
No. No.
infrastructure, and because we're not being educated about it, and we need to be in the ground roots, in the grassroots, and on the ground saying, "Hey, we need these things. We need the car companies to meet us where we're at, so we can afford an electric car." I was just
Mm-hmm.
talking the other day in my community saying, you know what? I would love to be the instrument or the voice to one of the car dealerships and be like Oprah and say, you get an electric car and you get an electric,
Right.
you get an
Yes.
car. And because why can't we give so many cars away in the people within our community, and then provide the charging infrastructures where they live so that they can charge their cars every night? And then now they're not paying, first of all, a car note. Your insurance goes down when you do that. Um, your when you think about, you're not paying for oil and lube change because there's maintenance on your car. You're not paying for gas. You're not. I have an electric car, So to not drive by gas stations is amazing. And I know gas prices are low right now, but you know they're going back up.
Exactly. They
And
are going
people
right back.
for $3, $4 to just put some gas in your car. Well, what if you would just charge? We
Yeah,
have a
I totally agree with that. I do. I feel like, because I shop on a shopping club that has um natural cleaning products.
mhm.
So if you guys are interested in that, just let me know. They're all natural and they're eco-friendly clean. Like they don't have chlorine, parabens, none of that. So I definitely switch. I definitely been switching. Everything has opened. And one thing I can say, when you were talking about air pollution, if you guys haven't noticed, due to stay-at-home orders and quarantine, pollution has gone way down in the air because there's nobody out with the fumes. So that there should let you know we really in this time should, implement maybe putting up more charging stations, maybe because like all the gas and the fumes from the cars, because like I feel if you can dump out stimulus checks all over the United States just to, get our economy back on track, just think of what you can do if you just implement those electric cars and the electric charging stations and just like it's one of those things that set you up for the future. Because like right now everybody's just thinking, oh, money, 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 money. Like that will come. That's what your faith is about. That will come. It's not always about the money. Think
Absolutely.
about like people just are not considerate of the well-being of others. Like let's keep it real. They're not. They don't care. And
Right.
just as something simple as making everything electric. And it's like it's not just about the adults, it's about the kids. Like you
Mm-hmm.
said, asthma kids, a lot of kids are getting diagnosed with asthma more than ever now, and mainly just off the pollution. It's not even, secondhand smoke. It's not all those other factors. It's mainly what is in our air. And it starts with us. It starts with us, even if it's just one person. So I thank you for that. Like, because a lot of people, they don't know that. They're just like, it's
Even
all feel
recycling.
like it's going to be there because we're always going to have this. Like, we can make a change.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can make a change in their community. So I do hope it brings awareness because these are some positive changes. So guys that are tapped in, if you have any questions that you want to ask Dr. House, whether if it's about her upcoming webinar, about anything she's doing in our community or any upcoming things you can do to help, definitely ask her now while we have this time. We only have so much time left because IG likes to cut us off at about an hour. So definitely ask her while we're having this discussion. So, do you do? I know you said you do domestic violence. So, with all of your workshops, do you implement anything on how they can, um, I guess you can say, build their wealth or erase
Yeah,
their, you know,
absolutely.
their finances?
And look, another thing that I do is I trade forex, which is foreign exchange money.
Okay.
Um, a part of a company with that. So if you are interested in learning how you can trade foreign currency from your phone, and you have an unlimited potential doing that, the foreign exchange market is a $6.6 trillion a day business. So can you imagine just tapping in to get your portion and get
Yeah.
out? You know,
Right.
you learn this skill set. And I think that, again, especially in our African American communities and probably Hispanic, you don't see or hear about the foreign exchange market. We hear just about the stock market, which is just I won't say it's just $1 billion business, but the foreign exchange market never recesses. So I am very much into financial literacy and
Yes.
how you can make the most of what is never going to change and that's always be available, and that you can add this into what you already do, so you don't have to stop and become this full time. You can do this while doing what you do. And why don't you become your own bank? You,
Exactly. Yeah.
why can't you become your own bank and be the bank for your family and your friends? I'm an advocate of we should have the wealth that is necessary to run the world. Why can't you have and I also sell life insurance. I have a life insurance policy, that if you get into this life policy, it has a cash value.
Mm.
You can accumulate cash in it and you borrow from your own self, which means it's tax-free money. Oh my,
Wow.
it's that's and I'll just say this at the workshop on wisdom on finding you, I am going to do a bonus piece of financial literacy, and I'm going to discuss these two entities on how you make them work for you. So I am launching that piece. So if you want more information, again, you can go to maryhouseministries.org and email me and say, I really want to know more about that. But if you are in the workshop, you will get a segment. I'm going to spend about 15 minutes on financial literacy, and then we'll follow up afterwards, because it is so important that we understand how to obtain wealth and keep it.
Yes. And I do think that is a great topic because, especially in, our community, we're not really taught a lot of financial literacy. I know growing up, I never really learned a lot about financial literacy because a lot of people want to look at money as this evil thing, and
Mhm.
it's not. There's a difference between greed and just, having financial literacy, because you want to have wealth or anything for your family doesn't mean that you're greedy.
No, no.
And I feel like misconception, with money.
And you know what? I think that even in the church, we ride. You hear this. You hear the one scripture people say, "The love of money is the root of all evil." First of all, it says the love of money. It's
Right.
first. Second,
Exactly.
there's another that says money answers all things. So if you got some questions, money can answer it.
Yes.
And so, and then the Bible tells us that we're supposed to be the lender and not the borrower. And when you think about
Mm,
how to be a lender if you have no money to lend,
right.
so you've got to think about what the Bible really does say, because if you're going to be, I call it, those of us that are in the kingdom, we
Mm-hmm.
should be wealth distribution centers for the kingdom.
Say
And
it
so it's
again, louder for the people in the back.
we should be wealth distribution centers
But
for the,
plural.
yeah, not singular. And so that means you could be a millionaire and I could be a millionaire. And really,
Mhm.
let's be a millionaire. Let's stop saying million. But like you, I was raised in a home. My mama didn't have a checking account. Uh, he didn't write checks. Everything was cash and carry or old credit with the man at the grocery store. He had a credit line that, I would go to the store and, I would say, Mr. So-and-so, I would get the grocery. Mama said, put it on her tab. And he would write down that he had a tab and from my mom that he knew. And then she would say, well, put this on my bill for the groceries. That's how we did business back in the day. The insurance man, my mom didn't have insurance, but he came every month and she paid him cash. I can remember Mr. Cooper coming by every month, and my mama would sit down, and I don't know what he was discussing a policy, and then she gave him the $10 for this insurance policy, right? I still don't know what that insurance policy is. My mom, you know,
Yes.
so because most people aren't taught in your homes the proper way to set up a checking account, a savings account, how to get the right type of life insurance, how to do stocks and bonds and mutual funds or CDs, what to do, then we don't know because we weren't really taught. But I am an advocate that you're supposed to teach it. I have two grandsons, they will know about money. And
Yeah.
and it's a
That's mm-hmm.
means it flows. Money's supposed to flow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's what I'm getting into now. Definitely what I want to pass down to my son. Like I'm getting into stocks now. So I'm learning more information,
words.
the benefits of that and how it works. So and because a lot of people, you know, it's not a lot a lot of people want to keep things a secret. That's what I say. When it comes to money, you have those people who want to keep it a secret because then they feel like, because a lot of people feel like, oh, there's not enough money to go around. Like, it's all for me. Or, you know,
Money,
they want to one up you. And I'm like, I'm either get it with or without you. Either way, that person is still going to get it. And so I feel like everybody, you know, that has that knowledge, like, it's like a seed. Plant those seeds because you're not always going to be around. You're like, when you're gone, your money's going to go on without you. You can't take it with you. So plant the seed because, you know, you never, like, it's always a blessing when you plant those seeds. So,
yes.
so one
Well, you definitely contact
question,
birds. Okay.
I have a question. Yeah, so we have, so it says, do you focus on helping young women start and maintain?
Well, I don't have a specific ministry, but the business that I am in with the foreign exchange, that is something that I promote for women to get in, especially single parent moms, you know, because most single parent moms know how to not know she can hustle. Okay.
Yeah.
And so if I can teach you a skill set where you won't have to worry about your 9 to 5, with, you know, would you be willing to put the time in to make sure that you could make money on your side, on your, I call it on your side job, more than what you're making on your real job, and then you can do as far with that interest you, and if you're willing to do that without no excuses, I'm willing to show you. So yes, I do that, you know, with those who are part of my team that in this world of forex.
Okay. And in the future, do you think that you may start a conference for, you know, entrepreneurial women that, you know, may have other, you know, other businesses that
Oh
may,
yeah.
you know, help them, give them some advice on maintaining that?
Well, one of the things also I'm going to be launching this year is my monthly, I call it Wisdom from the House workshops. And so you will be able to meet with me every month, you know, for a fee. You would be part of my workshop. So again, you go to maryhouseministries.org and say, I would like to know more about your monthly workshops you're having. And every month we'll cover a different topic, but it will not just be for women, it will be for
Okay.
anyone, because want to leave out our brothers. You know, in my
Right.
house, it was all girls and one boy. My brother was the only boy in the house, or the only man other than my dad. But he was the only man consistent because my dad was half there. You know,
Right.
but so I got a heart for the brothers. So it will be a monthly workshop that I'll be hosting called Wisdom from the House workshops, and every month there will be a different topic that we will cover that will support you in really being an entrepreneur and making yourself a strong, solid entrepreneur, well-rounded. You know, and that's what these workshops will be about, to empower you to be the best you that God created you to be. And that's
Right.
what it's about. And so
And
this is why coming up is so important, because it's the
mhm.
launch, and this will start the I call it the rocket
Yeah,
into the
that's
world.
exciting. Launches,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
exciting.
lot. That's what I want to say. Is I don't like to call it a choo choo train. We ain't choo chooing
Yeah.
nowhere. We launching, okay?
Okay. Yes.
And we're going to expect the unexpected and receive the overflow.
Yes, I love that. So another question we had, so with your workshops, what is the age ranges that people who are wanting to listen in, like is it for people 18 and up, or do you have anything, and if it is 18 and up, like you said, so do you plan on doing anything for the children? Like, is there anything that you want to do for the kids, like with teaching them these things, you know?
Children are not my that's not my ministry. Okay. That is not.
It
I will
takes a
refer
village.
to children
I get it. It
to,
takes a village.
what you're good at, okay, and stick with it. Now, because see, I'm a different kind of I'm a different kind of teacher. You know, now
Mhm.
I have no kid that never ever disrespects me. Let me be clear, but every parent
Yeah.
can't handle how I train kids. Okay, all right. You know, I'm just
Yeah.
old. You know, just old
You're
school.
old school.
And
Oh, I get it. But we
you know,
need
you would,
that.
yeah. No child would ever disrespect me, ever, ever.
Okay.
No teenager ever. You will get out of my presence before I allow you to do that. You are dismissed from my presence because
Okay.
you don't deserve me at this point in your,
Okay. And
you
that
know.
goes for anybody. If you
Girl, that
don't
goes.
deserve
But
me.
kids are different, and parents aren't parenting like they
Mm.
should. Like I said, I think that's why my ministry is to the adult. I love kids, but my ministry is to the 18-year and older, because if I can help you, you'll take care of your child right. You would take care of that teenager correctly. You will start putting parameters in your house and rules and structures that and systems that will bless your child because you got blessed. You know,
Yes.
the Bible
Yes.
says head and it comes down. If I take care of the head, then the family will be
That,
okay.
that's right. So is there any, if you guys have any last minute questions, just go ahead and shoot them on out. But are there any last minute things that you would love to shout out and cover before we get off here?
Well, you know what? I and this and God put this on my heart. There's a poem. I am I preach, I am a woman to the third power, body, mind, and soul. All right. I think that, you know, you should be a woman to the third power. And I had a young lady at my church years ago. She wrote me a poem. It was back in 2013 is when she actually copyrighted wrote it, but it was way before then that God gave me woman to the third power, body, mind, and soul. So can I leave this with you? I want to be a Maya Angelou for a minute and
Go
and
ahead.
give you
Go ahead.
this poem. It's called Woman to the Third Power. I have heard of a woman who the enemy cannot devour. I am told she is a woman to the third power. Mind, body, soul, she utilizes all three to capture the essence of what it means to be free. She consults God with diligence and waits for his direction. Without haste or anticipation, she moves with great discretion. No, this woman is not foolish. She knows in whom she trusts. She doesn't relinquish challenge, surrendering in disgust. Weapons are formed against her, seeking her soul to find. But as I have spoken, this is a woman of a different kind, full of confidence, but conceited she is not. She knows it's from God, all that she's got. Ask her, and she will tell you her role has been appointed not by a man you would think, but by the great anointed. She labors with her hands and guards the door of her home. Though she stands firm, she greets you warmly with shalom. She's gentle with her children. Her family she adores. Though her tasks are many, she takes on even more. And when there is a need, she will handle it with care. From the depths of her heart, she's so willing to share. She's steadfast in her faith, unwavering unto the end. She's not one that will be carried with every doctrine and every wind. And when God sees her face, he smiles with delight, for she has proven herself to be precious in her sight. Her mind and her body, they're motivated by pure dedication. Her soul is willed by sheer determination. What more can I say about this beautiful blooming flower, except indeed she is a woman to the third power?
Yes. Snap, snap, snap. I love that. I love it.
May 16th, Wisdom on Finding You. You can go to maryhouseministries.org and register today. I can promise you, you don't want to miss that workshop. It is the launching of my Wisdom from the House series. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yes, thank you. And guys, if you, those of you that are tapping in or just coming in, if you missed this interview, do not worry. It will be on my YouTube channel. The link is in my bio on this account. So follow me at _underrated TV, pretty _ Cindy. You definitely can catch a recap of the video. So don't worry, you guys will get all the information. Like she said, register to that webinar. It's a webinar. No excuse for you to miss it. It's going to be some good, powerful, powerful information. So I encourage all of you, go follow Dr. Mary House, visit maryhouseministries.org. I'm so appreciative for you being on here, and I thank you so much. I definitely will be catching that webinar. I cannot wait. Definitely about to put it on the calendar and register as soon as I get off. Cannot wait. So you guys, and also along, if you guys have anything that you guys want to DM me about that you have going on in your community, please let me know. I want to hear about all the positive things you have going on in the community and everything, because everybody deserves to know. We want your voice to be heard. Everybody needs to know what's going out there and the positive things we can do to change, not only change it, but also change yourself. Be the change you want to see in your community. So again, thank you so much, Dr. House, for being on here. I truly enjoyed this. This was so amazing, and I hope you have a blessed and great rest of your day.
And you do the same. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.